attending our play this evening. As always, countless hours have been put in tonight, from the coordination of the concession stands to the time that the actors put into this, and that's been a lot. We've seen some really beautiful growth in these young people, and we hope that you will be able to see that as well. So a bit of backstory on Frankenstein. It actually started out as a contest among several poets to see who could write the scariest ghost story. Mary Shelley wrote it, and it now stands as a classic to inspire other tales. For me, the real beauty of Frankenstein lies in the empathy that is built throughout the play for the monster and the intrigue of the unnatural life. Where does science end and where do ethics begin? This tale blurs that line beautifully. Without further ado, here is Frankenstein.
Choose to believe what I have to say. We're all free to choose, are we not? In any case, the story begins. It is July 31st, the year of our Lord 1816. I am Robert Walton, captain of a ship bound for the Northern Pole on a voyage of exploration. At first, we made good progress, but soon we became trapped by a sea of unending and impassable ice, barely leaving any sea room for our ship to float upon. Our situation became far more difficult by a very thick fog which closed in on us. I decided to lay to, hoping that some change would take place in the atmosphere and the weather. At about 2 o'clock, the fog cleared away, leaving vast and irregular plains of ice which seemed to have no end. We expected to see nothing when suddenly perceived about half a mile in the distance was a sledge being drawn by dogs headed north. The man riding this sledge appeared to be gigantic in size. We watched until the dogs, sledge, and until it disappeared from our sight. Mind you, we were hundreds of miles away, so how could this be? But we saw it, and judging by the ice, we could do nothing. That night, the ice broke, leaving enough room for our ship. But I decided we lay to until morning. I awoke to hear the crew shouting excitedly. They were looking over the side of the ship. I peered over and saw down the ice. I saw a sledge. Only one dog still remained, and there was a man in it. I welcomed him aboard my ship and into my cabin. I thought he was dead, nearly frozen, emaciated by hunger and fatigue. But then I saw his chest rise faintly with breath. Fred? Fred? You're safe. You're safe now. I am Robert Walton.
Will you please inform me where we're headed?
We're on a voyage of exploration towards the Northern Pole.
Good. Very good.
You are?
Please forgive my lapse of manners. My name is Frankenstein. Victor Frankenstein.
You say that as if I should know that name. Should I?
No, not at all.
Slowly, my friend, slowly.
I do nothing slowly. It is part of my nature that is both a blessing and a curse.
Blessed, I'd say. You're lucky to be alive. If we hadn't found you...
And for that I thank you. May I please have more?
You can thank me by answering a few questions. What brings you so far upon the ice?
To seek one who fled from me.
And did this man you pursue, did he travel as you did?
Yes?
Headed where? There's nothing.
It doesn't matter where. Wherever he goes, I will follow.
I fancy that we saw him the day before we picked you up. saw some sledge being drawn by dogs pass by, with a man in it.
A man.
Appeared to be a man.
Was he headed north?
As far as I could tell, we were quite a distance away.
And you didn't see him clearly.
No, it could have been a trick of the light. He seemed rather gigantic in size.
No, not a trick.
Who is he? Why is he?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
I wouldn't believe you. Yeah, I saw him. Not up here, but I did. I wouldn't have believed I saw you either. But here you are. So please tell me.
Do you believe that when the ice cracked, the other sledge was destroyed? I was lucky to be on the larger piece when it happened.
Lucky, I'd say. I could not say what happened to the other sledge. Lucky or blessed as well.
Lucky, blessed.
Why do you pursue him? Why does he flee even onto this frozen wasteland? He must be very afraid of you.
He has cause to be afraid of me. I bring justice. No more than that. I bring a reckoning.
He must have committed some horrible crime against you.
Crimes. He took everything away from me. And now I must return the favor.
What crimes?
Being born was his first.
I do not understand.
No, you wouldn't understand. It's all too fantastical.
Yet I saw this man, this gigantic man.
More of a man, and less.
Please speak plainly. I do not understand your words.
I'm sorry, Captain. I've suffered, and I hope that the memory of these evils will die with me. But being here, saved by you, this strikes a chord in me. You seek knowledge and wisdom as I once had. I only hope that your search does not end in disaster as mine has. I don't know if telling you of my disaster will be useful to you, and yet you may deduce that you will from my tale. One that will direct you if you succeed, and console you if you fail. Prepare to hear of occurrences which you usually deemed marvelous. In another time and place, I'd be worried at your disbelief, and maybe even ridicule. But I think that you understand how possible things are.
Victor?
Father, how are you?
Good, how are you, my son?
Very good. Willie, my dear brother. Elizabeth, my love.
What has happened, Victor? Is something wrong?
Does something have to be wrong for me to see my family and my love?
University's still in session.
I'm through with university.
What has happened, Victor?
Did they finally throw you out?
No, Willie, I decided to leave all on my own.
But, Victor,
There's nothing for me there anymore, Father. They're fools, ignorant in the face of knowledge.
knowledge that you possess.
Yes, I've discovered what I have sought my whole life, and it is right here in this journal. I can prove that my theories are more than just that by testing the results, the effects of my research. But they would not listen. I was advised to put away my foolishness. I discovered that Professor Kemp, the man from whom I wished to learn, was the worst of them all.
Victor did tell me of how he fought with his professors at university. He told me that Professor Kemp had taken him aside.
You wish to see me, Professor?
Yes, Frankenstein. I read your paper, and I am most concerned with where you are going. If you persist with the ideas in this paper, you will go nowhere. Here at university, we teach and strive to advance science, not the ravings of alchemists and mystics. You are here to learn how to heal and how to save lives.
Surely you don't need to ignore the knowledge of the past.
Have you really spent your time in studying such nonsense?
Let me show you what I can.
There's nothing you can show me that I have not already seen.
How can you say that? How can any man say that?
Every minute, every instant you're wasted on these experiments of yours is utterly and entirely lost. You have opened your memory with exploded systems and useless names.
They work!
You see what you desire. These fantasies which you have imbibed are 1,000 years old and are as musty as they are ancient. My dear sir, you live in an enlightened and geniuses entirely new.
Enlightened and scientific age, begin my studies anew? No, I say. I had proof, but they would not listen. They would not read the record of my experiments. They would not even see. So soon shall I make them see. And when they do see, they will be forced to admit their ignorance, their blind indifference to the truth.
And their indifference to you?
And to me. I will pioneer a new generation, explore unknown powers and mysteries of creation.
What unknown powers?
The powers to heal and more, ever so much more. What would you say, dear Willie, if I could banish disease from the entire human frame and render man invulnerable to any but a violent and painful death?
I say your professors were right, dear brother. Maybe there's a reason why they are the teacher and you are the student.
These are serious matters, William. Do not jest with me.
They must be serious indeed for you to lose your good sense of humor.
You are quite right to chide me, my love. I do beg your pardon. And yours, too.
And mine?
Most especially yours, Father. But if you will continue and let me work on my experiments here, you will see. The whole world will see.
I do not pretend to understand these matters, my son, but what I do know is that my son is home, and regardless of the circumstances, I am grateful. This is and always will be your home. You can speak of your plans and use the university at another time, but for now, I welcome you home.
Well, if you'll excuse me.
What was that? Were you saying something, Willie?
No, there are just some things I need to attend to.
I see fear in your eyes, my darling. Is there anything I can do to assure you that all is for the best?
All of our plans, Victor.
Will come to the pass.
You appear changed.
For the better. I don't need university to marry you. Our future is uncertain, with or without you. What is certain is my love for you.
I'm sorry, Victor. You frighten me a little with all of your talk.
Just a little?
Don't tease me.
It's just my good sense of humor. There's just so much I want to share with you, including the rest of my life.
Please, tell me about your work. I know I may not understand everything at first, but
No, my love. You understand me all too well. You understand me now, even in this agitated state you see me in.
so much on your mind, so many changes.
Exactly so. Let me open up my heart and my mind to you. I have begun to study what I have come to call animal electricity. Every living being has electrical properties.
Electrical properties?
I have seen dead bodies rise from the ground when electricity was applied.
Dead bodies? Surely you don't mean.
But I do mean. I mean exactly as I say. Do you want me to continue or be silent on such matters?
Continue.
My brave Elizabeth, I have seen the dead body of a man sit upright when the electricity was applied.
Surely he didn't come back to life.
No, not then. He'd been dead far too long, I'm afraid. But his muscles spasmed as the life force in him was excited. If the tissue has not been dead long enough and there's enough life force in it, I can reanimate and control the vital forces of life. Come over to the window. You see that burned stump over there? I remember a great and tall oak. I remember a dazzling steam and a flash of light. And when I looked again, the tree was gone, and all that remained was that blasted stump. I asked my father about the nature and origin of lightning and thunder. It's electricity, he replied. Electricity.
Are these things not for God rather than men? Only God can create life.
And destroy it as he did that tree? Man destroys life all the time, so why can't he create it as well?
We are not meant to play God. We cannot change the nature of things, of life and death.
We change the nature of things every time we light a candle against the darkness or skin an animal for clothes.
You know that's not what I mean.
What about a vaccine? It was unheard of and scoffed at. And now we use vaccines to save lives every day. Elizabeth, we don't know where life ends and death truly begins. We say that a man is dead, and yet hair and fingernails continue to grow. I saw a man whose brain was dead, and yet his heart continued to beat, and his lungs continued to breathe. Elizabeth, listen to me. We can cheat death by creating life. Am I scaring you?
I won't lie to you. I hear the wonder in your voice, see the excitement. You always glow as you speak of these things.
But my love unsettles me in my soul. I do not have the way to explain to you why. Why I feel this happiness of yours will bring only sorrows. Please, don't think that I'm not proud of you and all that you are, but
But?
I feel a shadow fall over us from your words.
Shh. It is all too much for you right now, I know. But I do believe you will see the wonder in it and be happy.
I wish I could be as certain as you are. I wish I didn't have this awful feeling.
All I ask is that you be certain of me, of us.
You know that has always been true.
I will make you proud, my love. Proud. And so I came home to stay, to continue my research and my experiments in iron lung. I knew that if you could replace one part of a man, you could replace any and all parts. I could create a man that did not get sick, that did not die. I would make a man that is better, faster, stronger than the other.
What you next told me is so far too fantastic for me to believe. Even after I saw the results of his work and consequences of his creation.
I will defeat death and disease and give everyone a chance at a healthy, never-ending life.
And so he went to the graveyards that night and mortuaries where he collected arms and hands. Legs and feet. A torso with all of the vital organs. Finally, the head. Most importantly, a human brain. It did not matter from who he harvested these organs from. Good people, thieves, even murderers. What mattered was that they were dead now. And so he locked himself away in his workroom for hours and days and weeks, working, locked away from his friends, family, and even Elizabeth. He started to create his new creature from the parts he had gathered, as he needed to supply the fluids that sustain life. There was one last step for Victor to take to galvanize his creation: electricity.
Now that I have assembled the required parts, I will apply the direct power of life. Come on. Come on. Live! You must live. Yes! It's alive! It worked! You must be alive, you must! I gave it life, but now it's dead. What have I done wrong? Oh dear God. I must destroy this mad, misbegotten thing. No one must ever know about this. Tomorrow. I'll destroy it tomorrow. Once everyone's gone from the house. But first I need sleep. Sleep. Sleep.
Get away! Get away!
The creature ran after Victor, but could not find him. He was probably lost and confused in the great house. In any case, no one saw him, so he must have fled onto the countryside.
Lock the doors, William.
What's going on, Victor?
Lock all of the doors, especially Elizabeth's.
Doors are always locked, Victor.
Just do as I say, please.
Victor, what's going on?
Elizabeth! Oh, Elizabeth, I thought I lost you.
How could you lose me? Except by hiding from me in that smelly old witch.
Don't go in there.
I wouldn't go in there. I think the chamber pots are full in there.
Would you tell me what is going on? You look like somebody's walked across your grave.
No more talk of graves. You were right. You were right.
Of course I am. I'm a woman. I don't know what happened, and I don't want to know. Look at you, my love. Whatever it is you have done has almost killed you.
Please forgive me.
Of course I do.
I should have never started. You know of which I speak.
It doesn't matter now. It's over. It's all over.
Well, Victor knew it wasn't over. When he returned to his workroom the next day, the creature was gone and so was his journal. Maybe the creature had gone off to die alone in the woods, like an injured cat. Or maybe he starved to death in the elements, frozen. Victor could not say, and he did not look. Maybe he did not want to know.
This soup isn't even that bad if I say so myself.
It amazes me with what you do with so little, dear.
Finish your soup, Grandfather, before it gets cold. Is something wrong, Grandfather?
No, nothing. Ever since I lost my sight, my other senses tend to play tricks on me.
I'm afraid the weather's playing tricks on us all. The ground is so frozen I could barely get enough potatoes or turnips for this soup. I don't have the strength to break through the frost.
Don't worry, we'll make do. We always have. I should fight extra hard tonight, but the ground is so soft you can pull the potatoes with your bare hands.
I would love to share your faith, but my sore back is telling me otherwise.
Well, we should probably head to bed. It's getting kind of late. was God or one of his angels. They must have answered my prayers.
I don't think it was an angel, dear.
Then who?
I don't know who or where this gift came from, but what if? You're right, a good person must have done this. What if he wants something in return?
Angels only want our prayers, and for us to be good, Mom.
Grandfather, will you watch the house while we work the fields today?
I'm only sorry I cannot do more.
It's all right, Grandfather. You've done enough work in your life. You can help us by staying here and keeping an eye on the fields.
It's a lot to ask of a man who cannot see.
Your being here will be enough. Come, everyone. Let's work the fields while there's still light.
I'd like some bread for breakfast and some soup for lunch.
Thank you, my dear. Before you leave, will you grab my Bible and magnifying glass?
Of course.
I do not mind the time alone if I can spend even a little bit of it reading from my Bible.
Here you are, Grandfather.
Thank you, my dear.
We'll be back before the sun sets. And now that it is winter, that'll be sooner than you think.
Hello, old man. I don't see any need to knock since I do own this house.
I knew it was you, landlord.
How could you tell?
By the smell of you. You smell of cheap cologne.
You're lucky you're old and blind,
Or what?
I'll give you that you your kind deserve.
My kind?
A grateful tenant living in my home, not paying your rent.
This is not your home. You would never live here.
You're right. I wouldn't live in such a pigsty. But I do own it, and I will have my money. Where's your daughter?
Working the fields.
Ha! Probably sleep in the barn or in the fields, spending the money she owed to me. Oh! What are you? Stop! Help!
Thank you. Thank you. Do I know you? I can hear you breathing heavily. I hope that means you gave that awful man what he deserved. Thank you. Please have a seat with me. Have some bread and soup if the landlord didn't knock it over. Ah, good. Our food is getting harder to come by each day. Say, you would have been the one who brought us the full basket, would you? Thank you. You are so very kind. You've rescued us all, it seems. Please, have a seat and share my food, won't you? Yes, it is still warm. Please, have some. Good, isn't it?
Although Victor did not know what happened to the creature once it had legs, something must have happened to reawaken bits and pieces of feelings and knowledge that continued to live in his borrowed brain. At some point, words came back, as if awareness of what it was.
Thank you, friend. Please accept my thanks. I know my daughter and her family will be so pleased to meet you. Friend? Yes. My word, You must be a very big man.
Man?
Yes, I wish I could see you. I can see in a way with my hands if you will let me. May I? My word, you seem to be as big as Goliath in the Bible.
Bible?
Yes. You know the story of David and Goliath in the Bible? Well, you seem to be as big as Goliath, only good.
Good? You read Bible?
Yes, so very little these days now that my eyes have failed me. I use my magnifying glass to see the words on the page.
I want to see.
Here, have a look.
I know these words.
I'm sure that you do.
An eye for an eye.
And a tooth for a tooth. Old Testament.
I have a book. Testament.
A New Testament?
This is the Journal of Victor Frankenstein.
Please don't go. Share our food and fire, if only for a while. This is my daughter and her family. They always be so pleased to meet you.
Grandfather, we saw the lamp of the Lord running, and we were worried about you.
I have made a new friend. This is the man who brought us the food. This is the man who chased the landlord away. That awful man. I'm sure he was going to give me a thrashing. I'm sure of it. But he has saved me.
Why don't you turn around so we can thank you to your face?
Go ahead. Turn around, friend.
What do you want? Do you want money? I can get you money. My father's a very important man.
Frankenstein.
Who are you?
I followed you from the house of Frankenstein.
What do you want?
You visit Frankenstein?
Visit? No,
You work for Frankenstein?
Work? No,
Victor Frankenstein.
He's my brother! Get away from me, you ugly monster! You hideous ogre! Let me go! Let me go or my papa will punish you!
You belong to the enemy who I have sworn eternal revenge.
Elizabeth, what has happened?
It's poor Willie.
Poor Willie.
He's dead, Victor. Somebody killed him.
No!
I'm so sorry.
Where did they find him? What happened?
He went for a picnic in the woods. He's always disappeared into the woods with a book.
Where did they find him?
By the pond. He was face down in the water, and at first they thought he drowned. Pulling him somehow, but
what?
There were bruises around his neck. Huge bruises in the shape of a man's thumb and forefingers, like an enormous red and blue necklace.
The pond. Then that's where I must go.
Whoever did this must surely be gone.
I do not think so.
What are you saying? You know who did this?
Who? Or to be more precise, what?
You're not making any sense. If you know this man, you must go to the police.
They would not believe me.
Believe what?
My love, I will tell you all once we are safe.
Please. Tell me.
I must go.
I don't understand, Victor. I don't understand any of this. I'm scared.
I'm leaving.
But your father.
This is for Father, and for you. Don't you see? I loved Willie. Please remember how much I love you.
Victor!
I knew you'd come.
You can talk!
I can do many things, as you've noticed.
Where are you? Show yourself!
So you can shoot me?
You're afraid of bullets?
I am afraid of what I do not know. Maybe I have no need to fear bullets, but you must think they can hurt me to bring a gun.
I need to defend myself, and if that means shooting you...
You want to kill me?
You killed my brother!
Does that make me evil? I am only what you have made me.
What do you want?
I want many things. I want to talk about this.
Then you know everything.
Not everything. Put the gun down.
Far enough?
I killed your brother. I crushed his neck. It was so easy to do. It was easy because as I squeezed ever tighter, it was your face I saw before me. Sit down! You gave me this body, these hands, these fingers, these feelings, these half-remembered memories, but you did not teach me what they were for. Remember that I am your creature. I ought to be your Adam, but instead I am your fallen angel. I look around this world and I see happiness that I will never have. I was surely created good, but the misery you have given me has made me otherwise. You gave me life and left me to die.
I did not know. I thought I did, but now I know I was wrong.
Why? Because I live, I can take action, and my actions have consequences for you. Do they have consequences for me? What are you... Do I possess a soul, Father? Or did you forget to give me that?
I don't know.
What about the people you used to make me? Were they good people? Were they bad people?
They were the tissues, the bones, the reused parts.
More than that! I read that. I read your journal, and I could understand your words and comprehend your meaning. In what tissue did that ability live? In this heart, in these eyes, in this brain, there is much I have not learned, but remembered.
Perhaps old knowledge was stored somehow.
Who am I?
You are yourself. Unique.
Unique means alone. Why did you do this?
You read my journal. You know why.
Did I request thee, Maker, from my clay to mold me man? Did I solicit thee from darkness to promote me?
Milton's Paradise Lost.
Just so. I have such thoughts, and I have such knowledge, and I do not know what to do with it. Tell me, Father, what should I do with it? You are the closest thing to a father I have. You are my creator. I have dreamt of this moment, of meeting my Maker, and I must say, now that we are face to face, I am more than a little disappointed. You are not a god, just a child pretending.
And as you say, you would not be here if it weren't for me.
Such vanity and pride even now. Such hatred for what you yourself have done. You put my hands around your brother's neck the second I began to breathe. Are you not afraid of me?
Killing me would be a mercy.
I cannot kill you, Father. Or rather, I won't.
What do you want from me?
I want you to pay.
I have paid enough!
Then there is something you can do for me. And if you do it, I will trouble you no longer. All of this will be as just a dream. Except for your brother, of course. But I'm sure even those feelings will fade with time. You do have much to look forward to.
What do you mean?
Elizabeth?
If she hears about you, I will kill you. And if this gun does not do it, I will find the thing that does, and I will use it.
That might be a fair exchange, don't you think? As I was saying, there is something, or rather someone, you can make for me.
Someone.
Yes, a companion. Someone like me, but female. Someone who will not run away from me. Someone who will not fear me because she is like me.
I don't know if I can do this.
Of course you can. I stand here, the proof. Listen to me. Because of you, I am condemned to be alone. So because of you, I will have a companion. If I have the love of one, I will be at peace with all others.
Where will you go that no man will bother you?
We will travel to the far reaches of the north, where no man goes. Things like the cold and weather do not bother me. There we will build our kingdom amid the ice and snow. I promise you this, if you will help me. Will you help me?
I will not forget that you killed my brother.
Killing me will not change that, and I do not think that you are a killer.
I have dedicated my life to the preservation of mankind. But do not mistake my compassion for a lack of resolve. If you do not go,
no man will ever hear nor see of us again.
If I can make right all the wrongs that I have done, if I can erase these sins that I have committed, then I will do it. I will do it.
And so, there was more to Victor's story. But for the moment, he said he needed to rest. He fell into a deep sleep, which was perhaps a little less troubling than sharing his stories with me. He would create another creature so that he and all of mankind would be free. Did I believe it? Did I believe any of it? In that moment, I was not sure. But I needed to know the end.
Like one a lonely road, doth walk in fear and dread, knowing that a frightful fiend doth close behind me.
I recognize that. That's from the rhymes of the ancient mariner.
I thought you might. Being a captain of a sea exploration, I'm sure you understand why this verse is in my mind. I succeeded beyond all my dreams. I created life from death. My creation paid me back and it promised even more. But I did not do as it asked. I created another being, the opposite sex. One as ugly as him, so that their lives may be as close as ever. He told me that if I did this, he would live cut off from the world, and me and my own would be left at peace. What could I do? What could I do? Please tell me. I did it for you. What could I do? I agreed. I did it. I made a mate for this misbegotten monster. I was the only one who could stop it. Who knew how many people he killed before he finally got rid of it? To do this, I needed time.
There you are. I've been looking for you everywhere. Are you all right?
I will be once we are married and happy.
Set the date. Next week? Tomorrow? Tonight?
Oh, my dear one.
What is it? I know you grieve for Willie. We all do.
It is because of Willie that I need a little more time.
You cannot bring Willie back.
I know that. I know that more than anyone. I just need to take care of something first.
No, not any longer, Victor. It is long past time that I came first with you, and you with me.
This is my last request from you, my love. Please understand.
I do not understand. What have you done? What must you do?
There are some things, my love.
No, there are no secrets between man and wife.
I will tell you all once we are man and wife. Please.
What do you want?
A month. Give me a month. And then we will be free.
Free? Free from what?
Free from worry and danger. Free from fear.
Danger? Are you in danger? This danger is from your wake, isn't it? This is what I sense, yet could not, dare not put into words.
Elizabeth, 1 month, and then I will destroy all of my work. I will nail the door to my workroom and burn all of my papers. Please, just trust me with 1 month.
How can I trust you when you don't trust me with the truth?
Elizabeth. Elizabeth, please. I am so scared.
Scared of what?
I have created evil. Something so evil that if I tell you, I might lose you.
What have you done?
I succeeded beyond all my dreams, and now I must make amends for my sin.
What do you mean, Victor? Tell me the truth. You cannot play with me like one of your experiments.
I will tell you all once we are married and safe.
Your riddles are driving me mad.
1 month, Elizabeth. A month that will lead to a lifetime.
1 month.
I promise you.
1 month is all I promise too, and I keep my promises.
A month and we will marry.
And you will tell me everything. We can face anything if we are together. Whatever it is you have done, whatever it is you must do, I will still love you.
And so, my dear Captain, I once again followed the path that I had struggled so hard to find. The monster had given me my instructions back. All I needed to do was put them to use.
Victor then told me an echo of his first tale of creation. This time, he did not speak with excitement. Instead, he spoke with remorse. He told me how he set to work again, doing things not meant for men to do. But this time, for a different purpose. He was not doing this for all of mankind. He was doing it for himself and those he loved. He would appease with the mate the evils he had created.
I need tissues, raw materials, bones to be reused.
And so he went back to the graveyards and mortuaries, where he collected arms and heads. Legs and feet. A torso with all of the vital organs. And finally, a head. Most importantly, a human brain. Once he had gathered these organs and tissues, he needed to assemble them. He started assembling the two creatures from the parts he had gathered. But then he found himself stuck as if frozen in place.
You said you would help me. I agreed I would try. You are my creator, but I am your master. Obey! No! I will not compound evil with evil! No!
Shall each man have a wife, each beast have a mate, and I be alone? You can destroy my other passions, but revenge remains. I will die with you first, my tyrant and tormentor.
Kill me then.
That would be too easy. You have betrayed me again. You will not betray me a third time.
Monster! Do not poison the air with your malice. Leave me be!
You have denied me my wedding night, so I shall be with you on yours.
I'll be with you on your wedding night. His words rang through my ears, and they filled me with dread. I resolved not to fall before my enemy without a bitter struggle. I would marry my Elizabeth and meet my fate head on. I would no longer run from her or that monster anymore. In my hands, I always carried a pistol. I was ever on the watch. He could not catch me off guard.
and in health, and in love from this day on, for as long as you both shall live. And now pronounce you man and wife.
Let us all now celebrate.
First dance, my wife.
First dance, my husband.
Please, join us.
think I couldn't imagine anything would bring my heart this much happiness. It is not that we forget our losses. What is life but continuing loss? Please cherish these memories, and when you can, turn to them again and again in your mind. Now please forget the clumsy words of a very happy and very tired old man.
Thank you, Father. No one has had a better father than I.
And now I can say the same.
And now, if you will please excuse us, Father.
Of course, to you both. Never enough champagne, never enough.
Is there something wrong? You seem sorrowful, my love.
Be assured that the lively joy is not painted on my face. My heart is content. Something whispers to me not to depend on the prospect laid out before us, but I will not listen to such a sensitive voice. What a divine day! How happy and sweet all the world seems tonight. Be happy, dear Victor.
In the day I was happy, but when night arrived, my thoughts were obscured. Every shadow scared me. I was... Listen. Listen.
What is it that agitates you?
Oh, peace, peace, my love. I suddenly reflected on how fearful the combat, which I momentarily expected, would be to my wife. So I entreated her to retire, telling her I would join her quite soon. I resolved not to join her until I had gained some resolution as to where my enemy resided. He was here! The fiend was here! He had murdered Willie and now Father! I had to get back to Elizabeth! I searched every corner in the passages of my house, hoping to see my enemy so I could end his life. And that was when I heard... Elizabeth! Why then did I not expire? Must I live to see the faults of my actions? Her hair flung down over her face, her eyes sunken in her head, her bloodless skin. Oh, Elizabeth. And that is when I saw my creature laughing at me. I fired a shot at him. And that is when I discovered I could make him bleed. I just needed enough time to make an accurate shot, and he would be gone.
And so you pursued him.
Not yet. I buried my dead first.
I now knew I could kill him. All I had to do was see him clearly long enough to shoot. I just wasn't sure how to find him. I needed to gain some clue by which I could trace the steps of my fiendish enemy, but my mind was disturbed. I found myself at the entrance to the cemetery where Elizabeth, William, and father lay reposed. Seeing their graves, the deep grief I felt gave way to rage and despair. They were dead, and I had lived. Their murderer also lived, and I knew I must destroy him. By the sacred earth on which I kneel, by the shades that wander near me, I swear to pursue the demon that caused this misery until he or I perish in mortal conflict. Let the cursed and hellish monster drink deep of agony. Let him feel the despair that now torments me. I followed the trail he left for me.
You're very kind with your fire and food.
Very kind with your money.
All good men must share what they have. Is that not so?
Where did you say you were going, young man?
I do not know.
It's always good to know where you're going, especially in these woods.
I'm sure you're right, but you see, I don't know where I'm going because I'm following someone.
Why are you following them?
He did great harm against me, and then he fled.
So you seek revenge?
I seek a settling of accounts.
Does he know you're after him?
Yes. Sometimes he leaves me signs to follow.
Signs?
Markings on trees or engraved on stone. Signs to goad my anger and direct me.
Doesn't sound like he's too afraid of you to,
And yet, he still runs. He wants me to follow him. He even left me a note once.
What did it say?
I still have it here. It reads, "Prepare. Your toils only begin. Wrap yourself in furs and provide food. We shall soon enter upon a journey where your sufferings will satisfy my everlasting hatred." I'm better off letting him go, but you see, I'm no longer responsible for just myself. I must take action for those who cannot because of him.
He killed people?
Yes, to hurt me.
Why would he go and do something like that?
Because I gave him life.
That's why you feel responsible.
I say, if you bring them into this world, you should be able to take them out.
Thanks for the sentiment, Pa.
Ha!
Thank you. Thank you for this fire and for this food. I sometimes go weeks without seeing another friendly face.
What does your son look like? Maybe we've seen him.
Trust me, you'd know if you saw him.
Is he disfigured in some way?
Papa, please.
Well, there must be something remarkable about him for this man to speak in such a way, besides him being a murderer and all.
He is disfigured on the outside as much as he is on the inside. I'm not even sure he has a soul.
He was born. He surely has a soul.
Everyone born has a soul.
Well, I must be going. Thank you for the fire and for the food.
How about you stay with us tonight? I'm sure whoever you're following won't make it too far once night falls. You can leave at first light.
I'm not sure that would be a good idea. You see, if he knew I was with you, you would be in great danger.
Well, I'm willing to take that chance. How about you, Papa? That makes 3 of us. So why don't you spend the night? We have guns for hunting, and it's much safer indoors.
Well, all right, I will.
Let's get going.
Say, if you don't mind, I have a few questions about this quest you're on.
I will tell you what I can.
It was the first night's sleep in a long time where I was safe from the elements. If not him, my new companions proved to be good company, and we talked until late. I told them very little and steered the conversation to other topics. I fell asleep the moment I lay down. I slept soundly without dreams. I was grateful for that. I did leave at first light, grateful to these good, simple people for their generosity and kindness. I felt guilty for exposing them to danger, but I was so cold and tired. But then cold, want, and fatigue were the least pains which I was destined to endure. I was cursed by a devil and carried about with me my eternal hell. As I made my way, snow began to fall on my head. It was then I saw the huge print on a white plain. It was him. I followed, when I could, the courses of the rivers, but the demon generally avoided these, as it was there that people lived. In other places, people were seldom seen, and I subsisted on the wild animals that crossed my path. It was only during sleep I had any joy. In sleep, I saw the benevolent countenance of my father. I heard the silver tones of my Elizabeth's voice, and the happy, full grin that lived perpetually on young Willie's face. What agonizing fondness did I feel for them? How I did cling to their dear forms, as sometimes they haunted me even in my waking hours, and persuaded myself that they still lived. These moments were happy for me, and yet unendurable. Can you understand? At such moments, vengeance burned in my heart, and I pursued my path towards the destruction of the room. What the monster's feelings were, I did not know, nor did I care. I kept on. One day, I discovered a large arrow carved into the bark of a tree, pointing down at a large stone at its base. Beneath it was another note in the green.
My reign is not complete. You live, and my power is complete. Follow me. I seek the everlasting ices of the north. We will feel the misery of cold and frost to which I am impassive. You will find near this place, if you follow too slowly, a dead hare. Eat and be refreshed. Come on, my enemy. We have yet to wrestle for our lives, but many hard and miserable hours must we endure until that period shall arise.
Stop him, devil. Now again I vow vengeance. Never shall I give up my search until he or I perish, and then with what ecstasy I shall join my Elizabeth family. As I pursued him northward, the snow was thickening, and the cold was almost too severe to bear. The peasants were shut up in their hovels. The rivers were covered with ice. The triumph of my enemy increased with my misery. I procured furs to wear against the cold, the sledge, and dogs. Thus, I traveled the snows with inconceivable speed. I knew not whether the lead had the same advantages, but I found that where before I had lost ground in the pursuit, now I gained on him, so that when I came to the ocean, he was but one day's journey forward. The ocean was covered with ice, only distinguishable from land by its superior wildness and ruggedness. I reached a wretched hamlet on the shore and gained access.
He was here. He was gigantic in size. He had many guns. Me and my family stayed here. Everybody else left. He went that way. He's probably in the frozen ice, or he's dead.
Thank you. He is asleep. And so I began the endless journey, traveling on the mountainous ices of the ocean, amidst the cold that few can endure. And I could not hope to survive. Once, dear Captain, once when my dogs had pulled me to the summit of a huge sloping ice mountain, I viewed out the expanse, and I saw him. He was not less than a mile distant.
Calm yourself, my friend.
I pressed on, but in vain. The wind arose, and the sea roared as a mighty shock of an earthquake. The ice beneath me split and cracked with a tremendous and enormous sound. In a few moments, a tumultuous sea rolled between me and my enemy, and I was left drifting on a scattered piece of ice that was continually getting smaller and smaller. All but one of my dogs died, and I was about to sink under when I saw your vessel riding at the anchor. I broke pieces of my sledge and made them oars, and I steered myself towards your ship. I hoped to induce you to grant me a ship so I could continue to pursue.
I do not think you'll be taking the chase anytime soon. If he doesn't kill you, the very frozen ice will finish the job started.
I fear my death is now unavoidable. When you brought me on board, I was beyond exhaustion. None of your comforts of your cabin nor your care has restored any of my strength. Must I die and he live? Swear to me that you will not let him live. Swear to me that you will not... I can't. Thank you. I'm all right. I'm all right. Listen to me. You must be resolute. He is eloquent and persuasive, and even his words once had power over my heart. Listen to me. You must shoot him. Shoot him with my gun, please. You must not let him live. The forms of death flit before me, and I call to them. Beckon to the names of Alphonse Frankenstein, William Frankenstein, and finally, Elizabeth Frankenstein. And now, the wretched Victor Frankenstein. Farewell, Walton. Seek happiness and tranquility in this life, and avoid ambition, even if it be the one of distinguishing yourself between the man. Why do I say this? I myself have been wrapped in these hopes. But yet, another may succeed.
Peace, Victor Frankenstein. Peace. What can I say to you about the death of this man? What can I say to you about his story? Did I believe it? Could I believe it? I was not sure, but still.
No!
Who are you?
I was never given a name.
You're Frankenstein's monster.
Leave us!
No, I will not leave you to you who has killed him and all who he loved. Yes, throw me off. Stand away from him and get off my ship, or I will finish the job he started.
Here is my last victim. In his death are my crimes consummated. The miserable series of my being has wound to its close. Oh, Frankenstein, generous and self-devoted being, what good does it do to ask for your pardon now? I, who destroyed you by destroying all whom you loved. Alas, he is cold and cannot hear me.
Your repentance means nothing. If you had listened to the voice of conscience and heeded the stings of remorse before you had committed your crimes, he would still be alive.
Do you dream? Do you think the cries of my victims were music to my ears? He did not suffer in the consummation of my deeds. Oh, not a 10,000th portion of the anguish that was mine. My heart was surely fashioned just as yours was, fashioned for love and sympathy, but I found none. And when my heart was wrenched to vice by misery, it did not endure the violence of that change without torture, the likes of which you cannot even imagine. After I'd killed his brother, and 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 after I'd killed
brother. I pitied Frankenstein. But my pity amounted to horror when I realized that the author of my existence dared to hope for happiness while he left me to despair. It was only then I was filled with envy and a thirst for revenge. After I had killed his father, and after I had killed his wife, I was not miserable. The completion of my demonic design became an insatiable passion. There is my last victim.
It is not pity you feel. You throw a torch into a building, and once it is burned, you suddenly lament the fall. Hypocritical fiend, you lament only because the victim of your malice is now beyond your power. But now, you are in my power. He told me all, including how a bullet can put an end to your evil.
Am I thought to be the only criminal when all of humanity has sinned against me? Look at me. Look at me! I am nothing. I am an abomination to be spurred and trampled upon by all of humanity. My blood boils at this injustice. Once, I falsely hoped to meet the beings who, pardoning my outer form, would love me for the qualities I was capable of bringing forth. I was nourished with thoughts of honor and devotion, but now vice has degraded me below even the meanest animal. The fallen angel becomes the malignant devil. I am quite alone. Do not be afraid. You may hate me, but not as much as I hate myself. I will leave this ship on the ice raft that brought me to it. I will travel to the farthest reaches of the north. There I shall construct my funeral pyre and consume this miserable frame to ash. My creator is dead, and once I have joined him, the memory of us both shall fade, polluted by crimes and torn by bitter remorse. Where can I find my rest but in death? Go ahead. Shoot. No, you are not like me or Victor Frankenstein.
Thank you first and foremost to Judy Droppman, who really helped us out with just about everything under the sun. Thank you to Marion Gear for her help with costumes and concessions. Thank you to Beth Schultz for allowing us to use her curtains and her popcorn maker. Thank you to Macy Fields, our ticket taker. Shino, who was running our backstage lights. Shelby Potts, who ran our spotlight. Hannah Coop and Dalton Bailey for working on the concession stand and the set. The families of every single one of these cast members. But most importantly, the biggest thank you we can give is to this young man right here, Wyatt Wilson. I think back to Wyatt being a sophomore and being our butler, and then a parrot, and how far he's come. And we are very fortunate to have had him in our productions for 3 years, and we can't wait to see what he does with his life afterwards. So thank you so much, Wyatt.
I'd like to take a minute to recognize the people who we could not have done this without. So, Ms. Conway, if you could please come up here. So, as tradition, seniors always get the directors a gift because, truthfully, we could never get this done without them. So, thank you from all of us.
Oh, look at this.
We're getting quite a collection of
Well, thank you all for joining us. Once again, we appreciate your support.